Not in jokes, with a real and in my real face on real camera. Understand I'm losing my life.
I will literally get picked off. They're literally following me every day.
Who's they?
Nigga, I'm not telling you they.
Then why?
But I have named a couple people to where I have to.
Because here's the whole thing. You gonna charge me with child endangerment? After I adopted 7 children and had them for 14 years in this state? Really? You coming after my kids now? Because it was already a witch hunt.
It's Katt Williams that taught me how to be Jaguar, right? And he picked up the phone, and it was the CEO of Comedy Central. And I listened to him threaten to kill him. He said, I'm not doing this. And then that's when all the incidents started happening.
All right, y'all. So Orlando Brown is out here saying some wild stuff about Katt Williams. And he's straight up claiming Katt's life might actually be in danger. According to Orlando, both he and Katt have been targeted more than once. And apparently, and allegedly, the reason Orlando leans into that crazy persona is so he can keep talking without getting shut down. And the wild part is, Katt has also said the same thing before. He's said more than once that people put a bounty on him the moment he started calling out certain powerful folks in the industry. And they even tried to take his kids. So is Katt's life actually in danger again? And who's out here trying to silence him?
Martin Luther King and Malcolm X ended up dead for telling the truth. So as a comedian, I don't think it won't happen to me. I think they've thrown me in jail 36 times in 36 months. And I think you've never seen me in a court of law.
So Orlando Brown just did another wild interview, and things got off the rails quickly. Orlando started acting crazy when the interviewer asked him if he speaks in code. And you have to read between the lines to understand what he's saying. And honestly, it definitely feels like he acts this way on purpose to throw people off.
People were saying in the comments that they have to really listen in between the lines what you're saying, because there's actually a very important message that you're saying without actually saying it.
I always say blatant what I say. I never ever have a code or it's either you hear it or you choose to wanna acknowledge it or you don't. Those are the trollers, bro. Ain't shit I ever said was in between the lines, bro.
So you're saying it as it is?
That's on blood. What the fuck is he talking about? What's your brother talking about? Everything I've ever said, bro, has been 1,000. It's always a troller. Well, he's saying this and nah, bro. Nah, man. Nah, I can say it to you. If I say somebody getting bent over the couch, is that a code? He's talking in code. No, the nigga was bent over the couch. Who? Meek Mill?
But here's where it got serious. Orlando went on to say that he's being followed and that his life is in danger for speaking out on certain people.
They're gonna hear nothing but actual facts out my mouth, bro. I'll die if I lie in front of a camera. That's why you have me here. I will literally die. I will literally get picked off. They're literally following me every day.
Who's they?
Nigga, I'm not telling you they.
Then why?
But I have named a couple people to where I have to tell the truth.
Why mention it then if you're not gonna
Because, bro, it's not for you to know. Just know that I'm gonna keep living because of the way I'm supposed to be working.
Okay, but why mention it?
If I work any other way, Prince from Bad Boys. If I work any other way, then that's how that happens. I'm only to tell you what I'm telling you and what I'm permitted to tell you. Anything else other than that is unilluminatic. And I can't deal with it.
Now here's where Katt Williams comes in. Orlando said that he and Katt have a lot in common. And if you go back and watch Katt's old interviews, he was saying the same thing that Orlando said in this new interview. Katt talked about how he stopped talking about Illuminati because he got stung one too many times. And he didn't realize at the time what type of danger he was dealing with.
Some of us are against the Illuminati, and we are against the Illuminati at our own detriment. When people are against the Illuminati, then they get punched in the face all the time. The press hates them, and nobody likes them. Yeah. But now, it's not necessary for us to stir up that hornet's nest unless we intend to get stung 1,000,000 times. I didn't understand that. They had to sting me 1,000,000 times. Right. I'm still not going to join, but I respect it a little more.
All right.
But back then, nobody took Katt seriously. People brushed him off and said that he was just blaming everything on the Illuminati. But as the years went on, the situations around him got way too weird to ignore. So many random arrests, so many attempts to either lock him up or get him institutionalized, and fans eventually started to think maybe he wasn't exaggerating at all. See, even after Katt blew up, he kept getting hit with one bizarre arrest after another. One of the earliest was in 2009 in a Walmart parking lot in Georgia when cops took his gun but didn't charge him with anything. Katt later called the whole thing a witch hunt because he was literally minding his business when a group of armed men rolled up on him. Katt told Vibe magazine at the time, "This is a witch hunt. It's getting to the point where I feel like I'm being persecuted because this don't make no sense." But the incident that really messed him up happened in December 2012 when Katt was accused of putting his kids in danger after cops found guns and weed in his house. Once again, the charges were quickly dropped because they couldn't find any evidence. But Katt said the whole thing was just another setup to take him down.
Yeah, I'm saying if the police come in and raid my place and break into my gun boxes, you're gonna find guns. But these aren't. Well, I'm not in a gang. What difference does it make?
Now, you were actually stopped for this and let go because you have a license for it.
No,
right?
this is their 9th time coming to my house. The problem was this time they came to my office and took my kids from an office, not from my house, from an office. So now when I can't have my kids at my office,
that's an issue.
I must be the
definitely.
most terrible black dude. Because here's the whole thing. You gonna charge me with child endangerment? After I adopted 7 children and had them for 14 years in this state? Really? You coming after my kids now? Because it was already a witch hunt. Now you want my babies? Yikes. Martin Luther King and Malcolm X ended up dead for telling the truth. So as a comedian, I don't think it won't happen to me. I think they've thrown me in jail 36 times in 36 months, and I think you've never seen me in a court of law. That means they're effing with me. And today, they crossed the line, because now they took my babies.
And then in 2014, Katt and Suge Knight got arrested together for allegedly taking a paparazzi's camera. And the media totally twisted the narrative to make it look like they just snapped on some random photographer. But Katt later said the situation was way deeper than that. Turns out the paparazzi were trying to provoke them. And one of them even tried to record Suge Knight's 5-year-old son.
In Beverly Hills, Suge has brought his son with him who's 5 years old. Suge's son runs behind the dumpster and urinates. And a lady films his penis out and then says, "Oh, I thought that was Katt's kid." But that lady said that she got jumped on by me. Yeah. Like, this isn't just my word. They had to play the video in court, which showed that her altercation wasn't with a man at all.
Yeah, they don't add that piece.
No, nor do they make a retraction.
Right.
Nor do they say, "Hey, that thing we told you about that guy, turns out it was nothing." I got 15 cases that were dismissed. That should be talked about. Why would 15 cases be dismissed?
And while Katt was dealing with all those arrests and false accusations, the tabloids were busy trying to label him as an out-of-control addict. What made it even messier is that some big industry names like Kevin Hart helped push this narrative that Katt was just a crazy, washed-up addict. And this only fed into the whole Katt's losing it storyline, even when the situations around him didn't add up.
My frustration with Katt Williams comes from, you keep pointing at Hollywood. Hollywood this, the white man, this, and this. When do you take responsibility for your actions? You became a risk to the studios, which is why the studios stopped fucking.
Why was he a risk?
He chose drugs.
But Kevin didn't stop there. He threw in another jab, saying that, unlike him, Katt never helped other comedians come up. And that made Katt look like the problem, not the target.
Katt Williams, have you ever used your platform to bring the people that were under you up? You haven't.
But that claim was completely off because Katt actually has a long history of helping other comedians and artists behind the scenes. Katt doesn't brag about the things he does, but the people he's helped definitely do. In 2023, Melba Moore revealed that Katt quietly paid a $75,000 bill to help her get her star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. And then there's Monique. After she allegedly got blackballed by Oprah and Tyler Perry, Katt stepped up and invited her to be a part of his Dark Matter comedy tour.
That man that was sitting right here on this couch, his name is Katt Williams.
Yes.
Katt Williams and I have a relationship. We're fraternal twins. Now y'all know that is my fraternal twin brother, non-biological, okay? And I want to tell y'all about my twin brother, Katt Williams, baby. Guess what? I'm gonna be joining my brother, my twin brother, Katt Williams, on the Dark Matter tour.
One example is the late comedian and Moesha star Yvette Wilson, who passed from cancer in 2012. She needed help covering her medical bills, and a friend launched a fundraiser hoping to raise $25,000. They barely made it halfway until Katt stepped in, dropped $12,000, and then covered the rest of her medical expenses all the way until she passed. Katt also did something similar for comedian Miss Pat and paid for her father's funeral and invited her to go on tour with him.
They told me I'm going on tour with Katt Williams. I don't even know what's the first city was. I get to the city, we all in a room like this, and Katt come in, and I'm excited. I don't want to show my excitement because I don't really know Katt Williams. And he introduced himself, and we talking, and he overhear me on the phone. And I'm trying to get my brothers and sisters that my daddy just died. He said, "What you doing?" I say, "My daddy died." He said, "Your daddy died?" I said, "Yeah, he died Monday." I said, "I'm just trying to, do his funeral. Do you mind?" And he said, "No, I don't mind." He went behind the door and came back with a stack of money. And I said, "What is this?" He said, "Go bury your daddy and come back."
Katt's generosity isn't just for other comedians. He's done incredible things for fans, too. Back in 2013, after a show in Boston, he found out a fan needed a kidney transplant and gave her $1,000 in cash to help. And we can't forget the time Katt handed out $200,000 in his old neighborhood. Beanie Siegel even talked about it on Vlad TV, saying he watched Katt give $10,000 to each person around. Not only that, but he literally took the fur coat off his own back and gave it to a woman.
Shit, I watched Katt give away $200,000 on a block. In the neighborhood, just going knocking on doors and $10,000.
He would knock on people's doors and just give them money.
He knocked. I'm telling you what I saw.
People he did not know. That's crazy. Wow.
I saw this. One lady came up this house and was like, "Oh, okay." He was asking her, "Was she all right?" This, that, and the third. She was like, "No, I ain't all right. I gotta get this, that, and that done. And to my house and blah, blah, blah." And she was like, she said something about how she liked the cat coat. He came right out the joint, full-length mink. Like him and all the security had mink coats. He made them take off their coats. He took off his coat, gave it to her.
And these are just a few examples. There are many, many more stories like this about Katt helping people behind the scenes. So for Kevin Hart to flat out say Katt never helped anyone, that's not just shady, it's straight up evil. But even with all these industry gatekeepers trying to take him down, Katt somehow dodged every trap. Through all the legal drama over the years, none of his arrests ever ended in a felony conviction, and he's never actually done any prison time. Now you might be wondering, why would anyone go out of their way to try and shut Katt Williams up when all he does is help others? Well, it's simple. Katt's been calling out powerful people long before most folks even knew what was happening. He even said he tried to warn people about Harvey Weinstein after Weinstein allegedly offered him 2 actresses in a meeting. But back then, nobody took Katt seriously.
I was as shocked as anybody about how powerful Harvey Weinstein was at the time that I was meeting with him, and how he could not be told no. And then he offered me 2 actresses like they was playing cards. And I was like,
What?
And then Katt also tried to warn people about R. Kelly years ago, but no one listened.
When I talked about R. Kelly, they canceled me for these things because why would you talk about another black dude? Race is not where the line is drawn. It's God's side and the other side. All of these big dick deviants is all catching hell in 2024. It's up for all of them. It don't matter if you Diddy or whoever you is, TG Jakes, any of them. All lies will be exposed. That's all. And anyone who takes that the wrong way, know why they take it the wrong way.
But it goes even deeper than that. One of the biggest things Katt's been trying to warn people about is how record labels are setting up rappers to get taken out so that they can cash in once they're gone.
When these rappers get killed, not incidental. Somebody made $100 million and now don't have to talk to that artist or none of their crew, don't have to validate none of their contracts. Now only got to deal with the mama, only got to see her once a year, and it's over. And the money goes up and up and up.
And then, of course, when it comes to Diddy, Katt's been calling him out for years and hinting that Diddy and his industry friends were involved in some sick stuff. Check out what Katt said in this video all the way back in 2011.
What's happening, Puff? I'll be back to you if JD ain't had enough. Yeah? Jermaine Dupri, king of the pet, if you ask me, baby.
And Katt has said it himself. He's been quietly collecting receipts for years. So it's pretty clear there are a lot of powerful people who'd love to see him silenced. So let's just pray he stays safe and protected, because voices like his don't come around often. Well, now I want to hear from you. Do you think the gatekeepers are really out to get Katt? And what about Orlando Brown? Do you think he's pretending to be crazy to protect himself? Drop your thoughts in the comments and don't miss this next video.